G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, on Sunday the 15th of September 2024, I published an article titled How Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch Bribed Judges like Walter Sofronoff and Michael Lee. And I'll read you out part of the article, but not the full article. I'll put a link below this video on YouTube for the full article, and you can click on that link and read that. And it's well worth reading because it's a lot more information and a lot of links with a lot more information. Now, the article starts off, freshly released court documents reveal further evidence on how Rupert Murdoch and his nuttier son Lachlan Murdoch controlled former Judge Walter Sofronoff during and after the ACT inquiry into the police cover-up attempt of the rape of Brittany Higgins. In this article, we'll also look at Rupert Murdoch's and Lachlan Murdoch's crooked relationships with Federal Court of Australia Judge Michael Lee and Bruce Lehrmann's former barrister Steve Whybrow. I'll deal with Steve Whybrow first, then Walter Sofronoff, and then Justice Michael Lee to keep the timeline of my past reporting of them in order. How the payoff works. Is it cash or just quid pro quo? All three, Steve Whybrow, Walter Sofronoff and Justice Michael Lee, were all invited to News Corp and or News Corp sponsored events in the last 18 months after they had done legal or judicial favours for Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch. And they have all received ongoing favourable media coverage from News Corp's media assets in Australia. I've already written about Steve Whybrow and Walter Sofronoff being on the payroll of Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, which showed a pattern starting to emerge. Any doubt about that pattern was put to rest when Bruce Lehrmann's defamation judge, Justice Michael Lee, who found there was no Liberal Party cover-up of Brittany Higgins' rape, showed up to News Corp's 60th birthday for the Australian newspaper, only a couple of months after his judgment. Steve Whybrow. The rape charge against Bruce Lehrmann for raping Brittany Higgins at Parliament House in March 2019 was discontinued in December 2022. It became very apparent not long after that Steve Whybrow had a very close and cosy relationship with News Corp and especially Rupert Murdoch's propagandist, Jeanette Albertson, who writes for The Australian. Walter Sofronoff. Walter Sofronoff is still under investigation for criminal offences for leaking the ACT inquiry report to Jeanette Albertson. I published an article on the 10th of August 2023 titled Corrupt Judge Walter Sofronoff was bribed by Rupert Murdoch's News Corp to leak the ACT inquiry report to Jeanette Albertson, which starts off, at the same time Walter Sofronoff was illegally leaking the ACT inquiry report to propagandist Jeanette Albertson, Rupert Murdoch's News Corp was negotiating with Sofronoff to cash in on the dodgy ACT inquiry findings. A lot of people are asking what motivated Walter Sofronoff, a former judge and Solicitor General of Queensland, to put his career and liberty at risk by breaking the law, with his leaking of the ACT inquiry report to Murdoch's Jeanette Albertson. Below we'll see the evidence showing some of the benefits Walter Sofronoff was planning on receiving, and they are linked to News Corp. But firstly, it's worth noting, this is not the first time this exact scam has happened. Bruce Lehrmann's barrister, Steve Whybrow, previously illegally leaked court documents to Jeanette Albertson to embarrass Brittany Higgins and Shane Drumgold, which benefited Bruce Lehrmann. Steve Whybrow's payoff was free promotion for his barrister services via written and video interviews with Jeanette Albertson, published on the Australian's website and YouTube channel. Walter Sofronoff was bribed by Rupert Murdoch. Walter Sofronoff leaked the report to the Australian's Jeanette Albertson weeks before he gave it to the ACT government. And at the same time, he was organising to give a talk at the Queensland Media Club hosted by the Australian's Hedley Thomas on the 25th of August 2023. Talk has now been cancelled given the heat that Walter Sofronoff is receiving after the leaking scandal. So weeks before Walter Sofronoff gave the ACT inquiry report to the government, he illegally leaked it to Jeanette Albertson, while at the same time he was organising to give a talk with Hedley Thomas as an event compere, as per the below picture, on the ACT inquiry, which would have been worth $50,000 to $100,000 of free advertising to promote Walter Sofronoff's services as a barrister. A clear and powerful prima facie case of quid pro quo. New evidence. ACT Supreme Court recently released documents. On the 11th of September 2024, the ACT Supreme Court released documents from the Shane Drumgold v ACT government court case that was finalised in March 2024 regarding disputed findings in the Walter Sofronoff ACT inquiry report against Shane Drumgold. The document showed Walter Sofronoff communicating with Peter Kelly, who works for the promoters 3 Plus, organising a talk at the Queensland Media Club with News Corp's Hedley Thomas as host. The communication, going by Peter Kelly's mobile messages, started on the 4th of April with a missed call and message, "Walter, please call Peter Kelly, re Queensland Media Club." And you can see a photo of that screenshot on the screen right now. So even before Walter Sofronoff had started public hearings for the ACT inquiry, there were possibly discussions for him to cash in on it. As per the text on the screen now, on July 11, 2023, the text says, "Walter, do you still have an interest in speaking at the Queensland Media Club?" Which means they had a discussion sometime before that. In the article, there'll be links for 6 other text messages or screenshots of text messages for organising the dates and sending pictures for promotional material, etc., for the talk at the Queensland Media Club. Now, the article goes on to say, the below email exchange is on the 26th, 27th of July 2023. Walter Sofronoff did not hand his report to the ACT government until the 31st of July 2023. And on the screen now is an email exchange between Walter Sofronoff, his assistant, I think it is, Delma Dewar, and Peter Kelly, sending a screenshot, or not a screenshot, a photo of Walter Sofronoff for the promotional material, and asking Walter Sofronoff to approve the proposed words for the event invitation. The article goes on to say, the ACT inquiry report was given to the ACT government on Monday the 31st of July 2023, and they were not going to make it public until the 1st of September 2023. On the day after, on the 1st of August 2023, the ACT government received the inquiry report. The Queensland Media Club were advertising the below ad on Twitter, which I'll put up on the screen now. And you can see Queensland Media Club, and they're tweeting or on social media. Prominent jurist Walter Sofronoff, KC, will address Queensland Media Club Friday the 25th of August to discuss issues raised by his inquiry into the handling of the allegations made by Brittany Higgins against Bruce Lerman. Event host is Hedley Thomas, who works for the Australian. And the title of the talk was meant to be Politics, Journalism and Social Media versus a Presumption of Innocence. It must be remembered that News Corp was pushing the presumption of innocence for Bruce Lerman all along. An article goes on to say, Walter Sofronoff's talk at the Queensland Media Club was cancelled after the scandal erupted of him leaking the inquiry report to Jeanette Albertson. But if it had gone ahead, it would have certainly received plenty of promotion from News Corp before and after the event. The messages between Walter Sofronoff and Peter Kelly raised many more questions, as they only tell part of the story. An inquiry chair organising to cash in on the inquiry long before the inquiry is finished, possibly as early as April 2023, as per the messages, before the inquiry started public hearings, is scandalous. During the course of the ACT inquiry, Walter Sofronoff also communicated with other media, including this website. The ABC reported on the 11th of September 2024 and said, Mr. Sofronoff had been corresponding with multiple media outlets throughout the course of the inquiry and the subsequent fallout, including news.com.au, The Guardian, The Saturday Paper, AAP, Region Media, and Kangaroo Court of Australia. Walter Sofronoff is basically unemployable at the moment, at least as an inquiry head, while he awaits the decision of the ACT Integrity Commission into his criminal conduct. But that hasn't stopped News Corp's Australian, where Jeanette Albertson works, promoting him as per below. The Australian reported on the 20th of June 2024, ex-judge slams zealots who rule with agendas. Former judge and inquiry chair Walter Sofronoff has slammed narcissists and zealots who he believes threaten the rule of law and our institutions. I published an article on the 1st of August 2024 titled Lachlan Murdoch bribed Justice Michael Lee in the Bruce Lerman defamation matter, which starts off, Lachlan Murdoch has openly and publicly bribed Justice Michael Lee to protect the Liberal Party in the Bruce Lerman defamation judgment, which became obvious when Justice Lee attended News Corp's celebration of the Australian 60th birthday last Thursday, the 25th of July 2024. Yes, that's the same News Corp that has been attacking Brittany Higgins since she went public in February 2021 with being raped at Parliament House, while at the same time defending Bruce Lerman and all the Liberal Party players who were involved in the cover-up, such as Senator Linda Reynolds and Fiona Brown. I emailed Justice Michael Lee and the Federal Court of Australia media team questions, which is in the article, but they failed to respond. The picture on the screen is Justice Michael Lee attending the Australian newspapers 60th birthday celebration at the Australian Museum in Sydney's Darlinghurst on Thursday, the 25th of July, 2024. Justice Lee has the look of a guilty person being caught red-handed. Australian reported on the 9th of August 2024. Judge tells media to fight for its rights. Michael Lee has blasted the overuse of strict suppression orders that interfere with open justice, urging the media to more rigorously fight confidentiality motions. Federal Court of Australia Judge Michael Lee speaking at the Women Media Conference in Sydney on Friday. That was back in August. So Walter Sofronoff was meant to cash in at a talk at the Queensland Media Club just after the ACT inquiry, which was cancelled after he exposed acting corruptly and leaking the report to the Australian Jeanette Albertson, which is very similar to Justice Michael Lee showing up to a Women in Media conference, giving a talk and then being promoted by a story in the Australian. I don't know whether News Corp played a part in Justice Michael Lee being at the Australian Media conference, but they were quick to promote him and what he said at the conference, although he said other media were as well. But other media didn't invite Justice Michael Lee to a birthday party. Now, I'll put a link to the article below this video on YouTube. So make sure you click on the link. It's got a lot more information, and it's got even further information if you click on the links in the article. And make sure you share this video on social media, and please hit the like and subscribe button. And Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account or PayPal account. Currently have 464 patrons donating $2,431 a month. I need to almost double that to become financially viable, and you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out in a big way. The link for the Patreon account and PayPal account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.